Hey, Queen. Welcome back to another episode of the Grow Your Confidence podcast. Where we are talking about birthing confidence. This season has been hot because we have been tying in the correlation between you birthing confidence using the concept of motherhood, right? And so in today's episode, we are going to talk about the gestation of growth, right? Cultivating your confidence from within. This is so powerful in this season because now is the time for you to recognize that your gift, your skills, your talents, your purpose, they are ready to grow. It's just all about how confident you are willing to be within yourself. So if this is your first time tuning into this podcast, hello, my name is Breye'l and I am your confidence coach. I am so empowered and inspired to be a woman who transforms women's confidence from within, right? I help you recognize and tap into your realization that your authentic confidence is what's going to help you bring forth your manifestations and your dreams. It's all about how confident you are willing to be authentically. So, inside of this podcast episode in particular, if you have not tuned into the previous episodes, you got to get into them, okay? Because today, we are talking about the gestation of growth. So you've already planted your seed, right? You already put that desire into the universe. You've already been taking action on that. You've been nurturing your self-assurance. You've been recognizing that you got to embrace change and uncertainty. So here we are now where we're going to talk about the gestational period of growth. Let me give you the definition of gestation. Gestation means the process or period of developing inside of the womb, right? Between conception and birth. So the process or period, right? Remember, we've been diving deep into the concept that you got to be willing to go through the process, right? It's the journey. Whenever you hear people talk about success, they always talk about how it's not the house, it's not the car, it's not the money, it's not the thing that brings the happiness once you accomplish the goal. It's really the journey or the process, the ups and the downs that people learn to appreciate, right? You've also ever realized that whenever people give you their accomplishments, nobody's ever really able in a sense to give you an exact game plan of how they got from where they are to from where they were to where they are, because everybody's process is different. So I'm here to ask you today, are you willing to go through your unique process? Right? Are you willing to recognize that your period of developing isn't going to look like somebody else's period of developing? That your gestation of growth is not going to look like the next person's gestation of growth. But let me tell you, that's the beauty from within. Because, see, what people really monetize off of, right? If we're going from a business perspective, is being able to help somebody else get from point A to point B. But if you aren't willing to go through your unique journey of getting from point A to point B, how can you help somebody else? How can you monetize, sell a guide, sell an ebook, sell a masterclass, sell a podcast? How can you help anybody else get from point A to point B if you aren't willing to go through it your way? And see, oftentimes you discredit or you over humbleize your way of getting through things because you think, oh, well, if I just follow somebody else's way of getting to it, then I don't have to go through the hard times because they've already given me the roadmap of exactly how it's going to be. Even if you follow somebody else's ways of how it's going to be, you're still going to have your own unique situations of growth, right? But again, it's you going through your own unique situations of growth that separate you from somebody else. It's kind of like if you go to Walmart and you see 5 different soaps that you want to use, what helps you make the decision of which soap you use, right? It's going to be the marketing. It's going to be the color of the bottle. It's going to be the story behind why they started their soaps. It's going to be the ingredients. But if everybody just made the decision that, hey, I'm my soap exactly how you make your soap, I'm going to go through exactly what you went through to make the soap, there will be nobody different, right? And oftentimes you're afraid to go through the gestational period of how you feel like it's may supposed to go because you feel like maybe your story isn't worthy enough. You feel like people aren't going to choose you, they're going to choose somebody else, right? You feel like, oh, okay, well, I'm just a little fearful to go deeper into my why. Because people may not understand. But that's what the real gestation of growth is about. It is about your why. Why do you want to feel confident enough to accomplish this goal? Why do you want to feel confident enough to lose the weight? Why do you want a healthy relationship? Why do you want to be the first person inside of your family to become a doctor, to become a millionaire, to do whatever it is that you want to do? What is your why? What puts you in the space of recognizing that I need to do this? It's the inevitable that I do this. This is why this is important to me. That's what you realize in the gestational period. That's what you realize inside of the growth period. Your why. Nothing will be successful. Your confidence cannot grow from within if you are not in alignment with your why. Every time I work with women one-on-one, even inside of the Confidence Corner Book Club, that's the focus. The focus is on the why. Why do we need to feel confident? Excuse me. Why do we need to be inside of a space where we feel empowered enough to take action towards these goals? Because when you're deep into your why, you're willing to open up to change. Let's say that again. When you're deep enough into your why, you're willing to open up to change. Change and growth go hand in hand, right? You don't expect to eat a cucumber from the seed. If it's a seed, you want the actual cucumber. The plant has to be open up to growth. It has to be able to recognize that when you go through your gestational period of growth, you may be inside of a season of incubation, right? Times may get lonely. You're going to cut off people, places, and things that no longer serve you. There may be a period of time before you meet your next new friend, before you meet your next lover, before you sign your next client, before you lose your next pounds, before you see the growth inside of your garden, before you see the change inside of your confidence. That's the incubation stage. You make it through that stage when you recognize that my why is more important than me being attached to the old version of me. My why is important enough for me to stay the journey. See, another definition of gestation means the development of something over a period of time. Are you willing to tap into that period of time? Because, see, in that period of time is when you reveal what needs to be seen, right? You can't skip over the process of gestation. You can't skip over that because that's where the confidence comes from within, right? But if you have so many things blocking you on the outside, if as soon as every day you wake up, the only thing you can do is jump on social media, read somebody else's success story, go back to the old version of you, tap into the old version, it's going to be very hard for you to recognize that what needs to be revealed inside of you is only going to show up when you're willing to see the bigger picture. What needs to be revealed inside of you will only show up when you recognize that you're willing to see the bigger picture. The bigger picture comes again from the perspective that you're willing to have about your journey. The bigger picture is you recognizing that even though you've been through hurt, you've been through lies, you've been through betrayal, you've been through times where you didn't feel confident, you've gained weight, you lost relationships, you lost that job, that house been repossessed, that car been repossessed, you've been through all these bad things. The bigger picture is you recognizing that all of that was for you to get to the next stage, that all of that was the uncertainty, all of that was the embracing of the change, right? For you to go deeper within yourself, find your purpose, find your why, go through your gestational period and recognize that this is what happens in the trimester of birth, right? I had to go deeper into the concept of figuring out when I had that miscarriage, what within me needed to change. What was in my root chakra that was blocking me from being able to really hold a child? What did I need to change? What was inside of me that needed to be released from a root perspective? Where are your roots? Where's your mindset? Where are your thoughts? What's happening on a subconscious level that's preventing you from being able to see what needs to be seen? What old thoughts are you still thinking? What old limiting beliefs are you still thinking? What are you refusing to let go of that people have said to you? You ain't worthy, you ain't good enough, you ain't never gonna get no man, you ain't never gonna get married, you ain't never gonna be no business owner, you always gonna work your 9 to 5. Don't nobody want you, don't nobody love you, your ideas is stupid, or you're gonna be fat your whole life. What roots need to be let go of in order for you to go deeper, be open to change, see what needs to be seen, and see the bigger picture? When people come around you and they say all of these negative things, it could be a reflection of who you are at that time, or it could be a reflection of who they are at that time, right? But either way it goes, you have to recognize that you are formulating a new version of you while you're in a gestational period, right? You are birthing something bigger than you. And what energy do you have around you while you're birthing this idea, right? It's like if I only have negative energy around my baby, if I only think negative thoughts around my child that's unborn, inevitably my child will come out with some of these same thoughts, right? Because I'm not giving the child the opportunity to evolve in a positive manner. See, that's what we focus on inside of the confidence corner. We focus on evolving in a positive manner. We focus on releasing the people, places, things, and mostly the mindset that it takes for you to make a radical change within yourself on a confidence level. Women always ask me, Breye'l, how do you just show up? How do you just make it look so easy? How do you dive deep? How do you help people really transform their confidence? What is it? It's my ability to recognize that I'm willing to change. I'm willing to go through the gestational period, the incubation period. I'm willing to go through the maturity, the re-ripening of my mindset. See, if you believe in God, the Bible says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mindset, not the renewing of your bank account, not the renewing of that relationship, not the renewing of the new job, not the renewing of the BMW truck, not the renewing of the mansion. That's none of that. That comes after you renew your mind. You renew your mind by sowing new seeds, new thoughts, by affirming new situations inside of your life, by being open to change, by being willing to be around people that help you reveal what needs to be seen. See, there's some periods of your life when you do things alone, and there's some periods of your life where you need support, right? If you're growing and you're in a gestational period, you need support. I have to support my baby inside of the womb by feeding it fruits, by feeding it vegetables, by taking prenatal vitamins, by reading it books, by walking, by exercising, by being positive, by being on a high vibrational frequency. That's how I support my baby inside of the womb, because I recognize that we're going through a gestational period and he can't do it alone and I can't do it alone. How much support are you willing to tap into right now? What investments are you willing to make to ensure that your seed comes out nice and strong? Of course, there'll still be some uncertainty, but goodness sake, you know that when you see things from a bigger picture, you recognize that when you make a positive investment inside of yourself, inevitably, the positive investment will come back to you. That's the power of you recognizing that you want the change. You should apply to the confidence corner. You should apply to the book club. You should want to be inside of a space where you recognize that you can invest a little bit into yourself, pour into yourself, and inevitably the people that you will come into contact with will help you see that you're meant for more. You're meant for bigger. It's all right there for you. You're going through your gestational growth, but what support do you need this new season? What is your fertilizer, right? How much are you willing to see that cultivating something, regrowing something comes from within? So I love you ladies so much, and I'm so happy for this gestational growth, because you recognize that when you surround yourself with the right people, places, and things, the growth within you is the inevitable, and confidence really does come from within. So if you're interested in joining into the book club, click the link below, free application to join. We'll get on a one-on-one call and we will see if you're a great fit, how it is that you can get inside the book club, and how it is the book club can serve you. So until the next episode, ladies, see you.